Hey guys, I'm Will from Willow's Southwest Studio, and welcome back to my Secrets of the Sinagua series. Today is going to be a real challenge. I'm going to be working with some really tough to work with clay that's been gifted to me from my friend Joe in Camp Verde. When it comes to working with really tough clay, there's nothing the old paddle and anvil technique can't solve. So let's quickly go over the tools I'm going to be using for this project and get this project underway. So the tools I'm going to be using for today's project are going to be this here pookie. That'll be the backbone of my workflow. I've got here a big old anvil that I'm probably not going to use. Instead, I've got these smaller anvils that I'm going to be working with right here. I've got a smoothing stone over here. I've got my paddles that are right over here. It's going to be super important to have those. I've got a little piece of buckskin that's going to come in handy for finishing up that rim and some other smoothing options that we may need. And then last but not least, I had to sneak this little guy in over here, my very sharp cutting edge that I use to trim my coils with. And of course, we don't want to forget our really tough to work with clay. This is some beautiful yellow colored clay. Oh, just beautiful. Very crumbly. And like I said, very wild to work with, but this is going to make it fun and it's going to be a beautiful challenge. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let me rearrange stuff a little bit here for the old camera. Some clay scraps from a prior project in there. Always want to start with a nice clean workbench here. Or at least what looks somewhat clean. Man, this is a mess, isn't it? Let's break some of this off. This is a very gritty clay to work with, but ironically, when it starts to dry and it gets leathery hard, you can shine this clay up. It is incredible. Yeah, one of the crazy things about a lot of clay around the Verde Valley is it's almost like working with concrete. It's really gooey at first, but as it starts to settle and dry, it becomes almost bulletproof. It's just crazy. And to further this challenge, I'm trying to make it as thin as I can. So I'm probably gonna have to take multiple breaks just to let this firm up. Yeah, it's just so brittle and cracking already. It's gonna make this first coil a challenge. Fortunately, I'm probably gonna have to do it with my good hand here for this. It's gonna be off camera. Hard to get that angle. So you can see it's collapsing in on itself here. We're gonna have to get the old paddle out here in just a minute. Once we get this basic shape kind of blocked in, don't want it to get too compressed onto the bowl here. Just like so. This side's caving in a little bit here. Oh, you're gonna be a stubborn little guy. Oh boy. All right, let's see if we can't aggressively negotiate with this guy here. Check the width on this thing. Don't want it to be too thick. Feels good, feels good. Press that inward to help it out a bit. This probably needs a little bit of a smoothing. This is definitely the way to go. If I'd tried this with the coil and scrape with this clay, I probably would have thrown this clay out. The nice thing with these paddles, and you kind of compress the clay into shape. You can tell it's still really, I'm barely tapping in it. It just gets out of whack. But it definitely helps make it firmer. And this clay is really beautiful when it dries. All the trouble you put into it, it is definitely worth it. Sometimes those really good looking clays are worth the trouble. If you don't mind investing a little bit of extra time. smoothing stone and give it a little bit of volume back. Is that a crack forming in there, or is that the seam? Nope, that's not. That is just a seam. I think the clay is getting pressed into the pookie here, so it's going to have a really nasty line. I kind of want to use my hands here to kind of press it inward and then smooth it out with my thumb. Wow, this jar is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. All I've got to do now is go out into the wild desert and get this crazy thing fired along with some other Sinagua pottery that I've made. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed watching how to make this crazy thing. If you did, please be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button and helping this channel grow. And if you're interested in more Sinagua pottery, I have a whole bunch of videos in my Secrets of the Sinagua series, so be sure to check those out as well. And don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what other things you'd like to see on this channel. All right, my friends, thanks so much for watching and hope to see you in the next video. Till next time, my friends.